Welcome back, everybody, to the Jujutsu Kaisen Watch Along podcast from Nerdy Jock Media. That's Nerdy Jock right there. That's Kevin Ketchum.
Oh, yeah. And this is my co-host, DK, who is the fastest runner in Jujutsu Kaisen world.
And I'm sorry I have none of that for you today.
You don't have to. It's all good.
I didn't prepare anything, guys. But hey, this is the home stretch.
Yeah, this is not just the home stretch. This is it. This is the end.
This is the final one. Yeah, this
final
is
one for season 1, right?
For season 1, yeah. We're finally at the end. We may do a wrap-up episode too, but maybe not. This is episode 24, Accomplices. And just a little note we got to say for those of us who are watching along, we talked a lot about this episode in our previous episode.
Yeah, we kind of...
Because they kind of just blended together, and I think in my notes, I made a mistake where I was writing sort of similar notes and that, but, you know, Yuji's incredible run cycle, getting away from Eso and Kichizu and all that stuff, that all happened in the previous episode, or that happened in this episode, but we talked about it in the last episode.
It was one cool sequence, but that, you know, we did mix those up. So if you haven't watched that episode, tune into that we released prior to this one and catch up with us now.
Right.
And where can you catch us, DK?
You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and right here on our home of homes, YouTube.
Like, subscribe, smash that button, make a comment, whatever they say on YouTube. Yeah, bro.
Slap that like button.
Slap that like button.
Yeah. So this was a pretty action-packed episode, I would say.
This one's a great one. Very, very, very fun. Great action. I finally get to see some, group battle sequences with Yuji, Nobara, and not Megumi anymore. But I've wanted to see Nobara and Yuji do more. They had one episode earlier in the season when they did that. They went to that old warehouse building and fought the cursed spirit that was
which was called Boredom.
Which is called Boredom. The episode was called Boredom.
Yeah.
And it was a very short-lived, quick action sequence scene. But now it's exciting to see these guys have been training together and have gotten to know each other better. Actually get some out there Yu Yu Hakusho vibe, kind of let's fight as a team battle.
Yeah, I mean, and this episode starts, there are stakes that weren't there in previous battles before, too, where you do feel like the chips are against them a little bit. Once this guy, Eso, busts out this rot technique, and it's like, yeah, Yuji, you'll be dead in 15 minutes, but Nobara, probably 10 minutes. So that there are genuine stakes there, and even though there's a reversal of it, it's a clever reversal that actually is sort of, threading the needle through what we already know about Nobara's abilities. Because we've seen what she does with effigies and stuff like that, and she uses her own body as an effigy.
Yeah. But it's it's a great episode, and it's a great moment of tension because you don't really know what they're going to do immediately, right?
Yeah, no.
Because you do see these tattoos or the decay on their body. It's kind of cool. It kind of expands out of nowhere. I remember seeing those images online before. I'm like, oh, where is this from season 2 or what's happening here? This is weird. And you see it on Yuji's face. Almost looks like circular flowers. We'll put some a screen cap of that on the green screen behind us as well.
There are some echoes of Naruto here with Sasuke's curse that he gets. I know you haven't seen Naruto, so you don't know about Sasuke's curse, but everybody else, you guys know. But I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And like her using herself as an effigy to hurt both Kichizu and Eso at the same time. It's like, you know what? It kind of felt like Yu-Gi-Oh-ish a little bit, where it's like, oh, I know what a trap card does, and she uses her own body as a trap card here, and she kind of has that little speech where it's like, you just activated my trap card. She starts stabbing herself in the wrist with needles,
which is pretty tough, but she's a sociopath, so she can handle it, I think.
Yeah,
it seems like, but it's really cool because we see some fantastic action here. The fights are really intense. You see Yuji doing some great cursed energy punches against Eso and Kichizu. They actually switch halfway through, and they're zigzagging, in the fight because I think we kind of jumped a little bit ahead there too when we're talking about Nobara using her attack. But basically, they're kind of slowly, quickly dying here, and
because Yuji's immune to poison.
Well, he's somewhat immune to poison, but they're both potentially dying within 15 minutes or less. So there's a time frame on this fight because basically Eso says, if they don't get out of this soon, then they're going to die, and they put real stakes on there because Yuji, even though he does have the ability to deflect poison or not be affected by poison because of Sukuna is his vessel, they still potentially could die here. And the longer they have this curse in their bodies, the higher chances are that they will die from it, right?
Right. But what's cool here, like a reversal of something that was established back in the episode that I think was entitled Boredom, but I forget. Right. Was there was this thing that was said where curses will force you into a painful dilemma of some kind, where they'll make you choose something. And what I like here is that Nobara kind of forces this on them.
Great point.
Yeah,
they do the reversal. I didn't even think about it that way because they say that in earlier episodes.
Yeah, it's a total game of chicken where it's like, are you gonna just let her keep hurting you while Yuji is beating Kichizu to death?
Right. Yeah, Kichizu's almost dead here.
Are you just going to run out the clock? Or are you going to release the technique and escape?
Right.
And Eso, he loves his brother, so he releases the technique. He does it, but it's already too late at that point.
Right.
Kichizu is, marked for death.
Marked for death.
Yeah.
And we were mentioning, I think we slightly mentioned it last episode, but like, we just want to give a shout out to these curse womb curses because it's three brothers and they have emotions. They're connected well together. They all three have great love for each other. I mean, Eso, tears come to his eye when he knows that Kichizu could die really soon here, and he's like, "Oh, right." I promise to protect you. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing my job as a brother, but there's love there in these curses.
Yeah, there is. It's great characterization, and I also got to give another shout out to the true heroes of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is Mappa, and the animators there. I mean, just great animation. I mean, parts of this fight I love so much. It's edited like an AMV. There's a part where it was like the rock guitar just going dun dun dun, flashing back and forth between Yuji and Nobara, and I was like, dude, this is why I watch anime.
Yeah, I mean,
this is great.
It is a great fight scene, and the music is rocks. It's a great music. It gets you hyped. This episode, this fight, you get hyped up because they are going back and forth. They're powering up, and they're getting great shots on Eso and Kichizu. Which means if you're getting back-to-back shots on these guys and you're doing good, you're killing them, you might get into the zone. Right?
And Nobara is really holding her own. Like I'm really impressed with her. Like at her own expense, she's holding her own. So she's kind of breaking a trope in shonen anime where she's not a Sakura. Yeah. Like she's not just doing nothing while Naruto and Sasuke do everything.
Yeah, And it seems like she's actually not only is she doing great attacks, but she's really quick-witted and she's very quick to figure out solutions to problems.
Right.
She's not like wasting time like pink-haired girl from Naruto.
Yeah, Sakura.
Yeah, Sakura. But she's but she's out there and she knows quickly. And it's funny because they do because of Mappa animation, they pull out the coolest move in the world. One of them,
Oh yeah. So I mean, Eso ends up escaping on a truck, but Yuji ends up following him. He takes the truck hostage. Oh wait, did I forget something? The double back.
Yes,
yeah. Sorry.
I literally just.
You teed me up.
I teed you up for the.
I dropped it,
and he dropped the ball. On that
I took a nap.
You put a Megumi on that one. Just kind of bunted that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, the music's kicking ass. They're going in great form. They're kicking the crap out of these guys, and I was like, okay, this is a fight they've earned. They deserve it. They want to win this one, and boom, they do a little monologue. You hear Nanami talk about the Black Flash again, being in the zone. He's like, yes, and you see Baro, and Yuji do a double Black Flash in the zone.
Yeah.
So very classic Evangelion move, like the teamwork when Asuka and Shinji have to fight that Eva unit together at the same time.
Oh yeah.
They both kind of punch them, and then they do a double Black Flash, and this guy they are toast.
There's even a weird callback to that too, where they're laying on the ground and Yuji almost kisses Nobara, and then she says, "Mama." He's like, "Oh, you're just as immature as me," whatever. But no, this fight was cool.
It was a cool fight.
Yeah, it was great. The double Black Flash, and you think that Esso's gonna get away, but no, Yuji catches up with him and just hits him with another Black Flash and just blasts him to pieces and apologizes. Like, this was heavy. This is heavy because he Eso has already cried.
Well, then it was Nobara. So I thought they were gone. I thought Yuji's going to catch him, but no, Nobara has his arm.
Oh,
his arm got knocked off from the previous punch by Yuji.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh shit, because did not see this coming. Most things, we both knew that Megumi was going to form a domain last episode. That was pretty much, that was forecasted to us pretty easily. You would assume.
Yeah.
But this one, I didn't know. I thought this guy I was like, okay, not again. One of these sons of bitches are going to get away. But no, she had his arm on the table, and quick thinking Nobara, she just like does the voodoo doll thing on him and messes him up.
It's great teamwork. I mean, yeah, they're both, they're working really, really well together. And it's also a great juxtaposition too, as we see later, that Nobara is very like emotionally healthy. She's very, she really compartmentalizes stuff in a way that like helps her sort of navigate life, whereas Yuji just wants to save everybody.
Right.
But he's also very honest about his emotions, which I guess is also healthy. Like he genuinely feels something for watching Esso cry at Kichizu's demise.
Yeah.
And apologizes to him as he punches him to death.
And he says like, I'm sorry. And you could tell in his voice, great voice acting again, by the way, on the Japanese and English version, he says, I'm sorry. And you could feel it, man. Yuji was very sorry. And Esso was crying, because he saw Kichizu die, and it was a touching moment from a curse perspective, because we barely knew these guys, but you are kind of connected to them,
right? And all of this too, I didn't want to break the momentum of this fight, because this fight was epic. It was awesome. It was a great way to. It was a great note to go out on the series of. The fight is temporarily interrupted by a 2.5 minute. Backstory sequence that explains this horrific thing, which I'll choose my words carefully so that YouTube doesn't just completely bury this video.
Yeah.
And basically, a guy decided to inseminate a woman 9 times and then terminate the resulting, the resulting baby from that. Yeah. And that's what the cursed wombs are.
Yeah, so that's basically what cursed wombs are. They talk about, is it the Como clan or something like that?
Yeah.
This lady who I guess she fell in love with a cursed spirit, and they had a baby, but it died. It was born dead or stillborn or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then she was exiled, right?
Yeah.
And then, which honestly could have been a very interesting episode, but that definitely fits more with the Ninja Scroll type of a little more adult. Just the content in general.
So some of the themes in the show, I'm like, is this really a shonen story? Yeah, like very seinen type the ideas in this. Yeah.
It had some very adult moments. I mean, it could have been like its own really interesting episode.
Yeah.
Told in a very cool fashion, maybe even a black and white kind of flashback, anything like that. But basically, they do explain the death, the death painting, cursed wombs.
Right. Its placement did make me a little bit angry, because I was just like, just get back to the thing that matters. Yeah, please. Exactly. Just get back to it. But anyway, so we get that. And then now these two dudes are defeated. We see that Geto and Mahito are playing Monopoly with the third brother of this trio.
And his name is what? Chozo, is that right?
Yeah, Chozo. And he knows, he has a connection. He knows that his brothers are dead.
Yeah.
And all of that, and they're just like, well, tough crap. We're just gonna have to get back at them,
Yeah, and Geto made one comment saying, he's like, oh wow, you could feel that they died from here. He's like, that's a pretty strong connection that you three have together. And he's like,
right.
Yeah. So I guess that was basically just setting up this Chozo guy for season 2. Obviously, he's gonna probably play a pretty big factor in the first portion of the next season.
Right. Yeah. Again, Mappa's animation. There's this little scene. So good. There's a scene with Nobara and Yuji walking in the woods after this and talking about their feelings about this thing. And this is a really incredible piece of animation. If you watch the Japanese version, it's a thing that Mappa has been doing a lot lately. I noticed it a lot when watching Chainsaw Man, but this scene is almost entirely pre-scored. Everything they say perfectly fits their mouth. Mm-hmm. Like every shape of every sound that they make perfectly fits their mouths, almost Disney-wise.
Right. It's so good.
It was great. It was just, and it was like, wow, like it really humanizes them more. Like Nobara's little speech about, I only have enough chairs in my heart for people. And then there are all people like you who just come in and set up their own chair, and stuff like that. So I don't have time to care about, I don't have time to care about anybody else. Is that cold? But like everything about the way she said that, just the fact that it all fit her mouth. Like it was like, oh, like this feels more real.
Yeah,
and Yuji's reply too. But
and you got that's why Mappa's so fantastic, and we give them all the credit in the world because they could have. That's in animation world. Them after the fight walking through the woods could have easily been a throw off kind of moment, or just a let's do some worse, crappier animation for this segment here, or something, where we didn't put our best guys in there. But even we know those quiet moments like that one are important. And they can resonate deeply, especially if they are done to perfection like Mappa did.
Yeah. So great little sequence of pre-scoring going on. And then we have these funny little beats where they meet up with Megumi and they wake him up and they're like, that's dangerous. You can't fall asleep when you've got Sukuna's finger. Yeah. And then Yuji's like, hey, should I eat the finger? Yeah. Or whatever. And they're like, no.
No.
But maybe you should hold it because you have the most energy.
Yeah.
It's like, but don't eat it. But don't eat it. But don't eat it.
So he reaches out to grab the finger, right? And then Sukuna, he opens with his little demon's cursed energy. He opens up his palm as a mouth and eats it right through his hand. So he's like, oh, dang it. And he's like, you got it regardless. So another power up for Sukuna.
Right. Yeah, it was super funny. There was a little comment where it was like, man, like maybe Gojo Sensei is just winging this whole thing, and Megumi's like, you're just figuring that out. Just his disdain for Gojo is a funny little thing.
He's like, always, yeah.
And I think my favorite part of this episode overall, like aside from the action, aside from everything, was the juxtaposition scenes where Megumi is explaining to Nobara, like, listen, the reason that all these people died is because Yuji ate Sukuna's finger. He activated the curse. Do not tell him. Do not tell him. But then it cuts to Yuji, and Sukuna is telling him that. It's like, haha, you activated my energy when you became my vessel. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. All these people are dead because of you. And Yuji just says, like, you better not tell Megumi. Like, you better not tell him. And this was such a great juxtaposition scene because it's like, everybody... they
both know, and they both want to spare the other the emotion,
Right, and we as the audience were the only ones that know that both of them know. So,
right. And we still haven't, even though we're near the end of this episode, we still haven't got resolution for Megumi's, step/older sister.
Yeah, is she okay now? I mean, he defeated the curse, so is she awake?
No, but they do. Megumi mentions that like he doesn't think that solves her issue. He doesn't know, but it was an easy way to write for plot. Like, hey, this line's not done yet. Yeah, we're going to continue this plot in season 2, I assume. And then we just kind of get a hard reset. Oh no, what we get is we get Mei and Toto. Yeah, I forgot. I've totally forgot about this scene. Yeah, you can tee this off. Well, the guys are shopping, or the trio shoping of Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara, but it flashes to the high school where Goku Ganji and our principal, are discussing with Toto and. Some of the Mei upperclassmen, like, who would they like to recommend? Because it's the end of the year, end of the class season, end of season 1. Who would they recommend for promotions? And basically, all five people got promotions, right? Maki got promoted, Panda got promoted, and Yuji, Nobara. I'm never going to get her name right, guys.
He's not.
I'm not.
We're at the last episode.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah, and Megumi and Yuji. So they're all getting upgraded to first grade sorcerers.
Right.
Because they do mention, hey, our guys, our first years just took out 3 special grades. And nothing.
Yeah, like nothing. So
So that was a cool moment, right?
It was a cool moment. Yeah, it was cool to see, and I like that Panda and Maki also got nominated to be first grade too.
They deserve it.
Yeah, they absolutely do. It begs the question: is Inumaki already first grade? Because
I don't know. He's first grade in my heart. Anyone who talks about food with that much passion is a friend of mine.
Who talks about everything as food? Yeah, with that much passion.
And still has character. Still has emotions.
I'll say that he does have limitations because he only has the cursed speech, but if he uses it too much, he does hurt himself. Yeah. He did get that blast backwards thing on Hanami, but it didn't really do anything. Honestly, Maki with no cursed energy with the the whatever
Tribe
cloud.
thing? Or
The 3-section staff, the something cloud, sorrowful cloud. I don't remember.
Something like that.
Something like that. Like she did more damage.
She did a lot of damage, and that's a cool weapon. Well, I'm sure we'll see more of that in
But
season 2.
Inumaki, doesn't matter what your grade is. We like you. You're a cool character.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, that was it.
Well, no, I was done. I was just gonna.